What's up everyone, it's Trent aka TradeMark here, and in this video I'm going to show you guys how to complete the Grandmaster's training event and unlock 7-star Yoda. So today is the first day of the second rotation of the Grandmaster's training event, where you can unlock Grandmaster Yoda in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. And basically, this is a rotating event, so it will be here for about a week and then it will come back in a month or so. So if you haven't been preparing for this event, you can use this video as kind of a, as information to prepare for the next event that happens in a month or so. If you have been preparing for the event, then great. You can use this video to kind of help you with the strategy on how to beat the 7th stage. Now, this guide is going to be focused on the 7th stage of the event, which is the final stage, and it requires 5 7-star Jedi to complete. The first 5 stages are pretty easy and self-explanatory. You know, if you have 5-star Jedi, you can pretty much complete those pretty easily. The 6th stage becomes a little more difficult, but is pretty manageable, and it's the 7th stage that just has this huge difficulty increase. And Yoda is going to take multiple turns. He's also going to take a turn every time that he kills one of your Jedi. So he's just going to be taking a lot of turns here. So let's go ahead and talk about team compositions first. Now, the 3 most important Jedi to have on your team, in my opinion, are Barriss Offee, Luminara Unduli, and Jedi Consular. Now, these 3 characters are the 3 main healing Jedi, and their heals are very, very important in this event because Yoda hits very hard, and because he takes multiple turns in between your Jedi, it's very important to always have a heal up so that you can keep your characters alive. Barriss is probably the most important, or the MVP in my opinion, as far as the Jedi are concerned, for 2 reasons. Barriss, first of all, when she's in the leadership position, she's going to give your Jedi extra health, and that's going to allow them to be able to take an extra hit or 2. That's very important. Also, she has the equalization, which is very important because if Yoda targets one character with unstoppable force, she can almost one-shot your Jedi. So the equalization, health equalization, is really important for that. And also, she has a heal per turn. Now, Luminara also has a heal per turn on her leadership ability. So Luminara, if you don't have Barriss Offee, then Luminara is going to be your second best leader to use. She still increases your team's survivability by increasing their dodge chance. So if your Jedi dodge an attack from Yoda, obviously that's complete damage negation, and that's very important to winning when Luminara is leader. And so those would be my 2 leader suggestions, Barriss and then Luminara. Everyone should be using Lumi because she's so easy to farm in Galactic War. Also, everyone should be using Jedi Consular because he's unlocked early and he's easy to farm in Cantina. So those 2 characters should be a staple in everyone's team. I would also recommend that everyone uses Qui-Gon Jinn. So those are your 4 characters starting off with Barriss, Luminara, JC, Qui-Gon Jinn, and your 5th character can be filled out with a variety of people. You can use Koth because he's easy to farm. You can use Ahsoka Tano. She's actually really good in this event. You could use Mace Windu, or you could even use a Chromium exclusive character like Kit Fisto. That's actually who I used. But I want to make it clear that none of these characters are required. I would say that having 1 or 2 healers is a requirement because you need to stay alive. There's no way you're going to beat it without healers. But none of them are necessarily required. I have seen people beat this 7th stage of the event with a lot of different team compositions, and I imagine that pretty much every Jedi is going to be in some team that's beaten Yoda eventually. So nothing is required. However, the 3 healers especially improve your chances because they increase your survivability by a lot. Now let's go ahead and talk about the strategy for the event. The first thing that you want to do is you want to look at the 2 Jedi allies that Yoda is going to bring with him in the 7th stage event. Now, there's 2 main strategies that you can look for. You can either look for 2 weak hitting characters. I call this the wet noodle strategy, and that's actually the way that I beat the event with JC and Jedi Knight Guardian as the 2. Or you can look for Barriss Offee and another Jedi as the teammates. And the reason why Barriss is a very nice ally or enemy ally to have to be going against is because of her equalization heal. And so basically one strategy that you can use is that you can attack both of Yoda's allies at the beginning. So you can chip them both down, and you want to try and chip them both down to around 50% health and then burst them down as quickly as possible. So you want to get them as low as possible, around ideally 25% or lower health. Now, as soon as Barriss uses her equalization heal, it's going to equalize all their health, and since the other two allies next to Yoda have around 25% health, it's going to end up putting them all around 50% health or so. So it's going to take away 50% of Yoda's health bar in one heal. So that is a valid strategy. It is not the strategy that I used. I used the wet noodle one, but having weak enemies to go against is also beneficial. So let me just kind of walk through the strategy that I used when I won the event. So the video in the background is the attempt where I actually completed the 7th stage and unlocked 7-star Yoda. And the two characters, the two allies that I got matched up against that I won were Jedi Consular and Jedi Knight Guardian. Now, Jedi Knight Guardian is good because she's very weak. She is tanky, but she's very weak, hits like a wet noodle. And JC is also a pretty weak hitting character, and his heal's not that great. So what I did here, you'll notice I basically, I focused on Jedi Consular first, and when he got around like 50% health, I didn't want to attack him until he took his turn, because I didn't want to trigger his heal. So basically right here, you notice I'm just avoiding attacking him right now, and I'm just chipping away at Yoda. And the reason I didn't that was a text from my wife. So I'm basically avoiding JC until he takes his turn. So he takes his turn right here, and now I'm gonna focus fire him because I didn't trigger his heal, and I just want to burst him down and kill him before he's able to use his heal. Once I remove JC, Jedi Knight Guardian is pretty weak, so I'm not too concerned about her taking her turn. She's also pretty slow, so I actually just completely ignored Jedi Knight Guardian after I killed JC, and so from here on out I just focus on Yoda the entire time. Now, I wanted to talk about heals real fast in the game because your heal management is very important to finishing the 7th stage event. You're not always going to be able to perfectly plan out when to use your heals. But as kind of a rule of thumb, this is what I did, is that anytime that JC's heal was up and someone was damaged, I used it pretty much. That's because his basic attack and, the low cooldown and his basic attack lowering cooldowns, JC's heal can pretty much be spammed. Now, Luminara's heal was kind of the hardest one to predict when to use. It's kind of a hard situation. If there are multiple of your characters that are damaged, like let's say Yoda goes on a little rampage and attacks 3 of your guys, then Lumi might be a good idea for a heal to use, because she's going to heal that initial damage plus heal over time in case someone was, maybe damaged more than her initial heal fixed up. And then Barriss heal, usually I was using Barriss heal anytime that one of my characters got extremely low. So like if Yoda uses Unstoppable Force on a character and he crits, it's going to take about 3/4 of their health bar away, and that's with Barriss. So I imagine without Barriss, Yoda can pretty much one-shot a character if he crits on his Unstoppable Force. And so you can see how it can be very frustrating if he lands that. Like right there, you just saw he used Unstoppable Force. I don't think that crit, so that was like a 50% of his health bar. And so JC is really low here, so I actually do use the equalization heal. And so that's when Barriss's heal is most effective. And then you're just trying to fill in the blanks. So now, right now, all 3 of my heals are down. So it's really important. Like JC just took an extra basic attack there on an ally assist, and he's gonna attack again right here. So now JC's heals up, but right now I'm pretty much at the most vulnerable. because I don't have any of my heals up, and you'll notice that Yoda attacks JC and actually kills him. Now, don't be worried if you do lose a character. It's not the end of the world. I mean, if you lose a character really early in the game, you might want to try and restart. But I very rarely have seen someone finish the 7th stage with all 5 characters still alive, all 5 of their teammates. I've seen it oftentimes come down to just a one-on-one fight against a Jedi versus Yoda. And that's actually what happened. If you saw my earlier fight it was Lumi versus Yoda, and they both had just a sliver of red health. I decided to use her heal in that situation, and he took like 3 turns in a row and killed me. So I probably should have just tried to attack him and see if I would have killed him. I probably still wouldn't have killed him, but I mean, it literally can come down to a 1 versus 1 duel with Yoda a lot of times. So don't be concerned if, you know, one of your characters dies. It is a slow grind here, and there is a lot of luck involved, you know. You'll notice here, I'm really lucky that Luminar doesn't actually die right here. If Lumi would have died, then he would have taken another turn. Not only does she not die there on Unstoppable Force, she also dodges the next basic attack. So that's very important, because those 2 things that happen were like literally like what I was saying earlier, is that you need a lot of luck involved with actually getting through this. So her turn's finally up. She gets the heal from her Lumi heal plus the heal from the Barriss leadership passive, and she's able to survive 2 more attacks and not give Yoda extra turns. So literally, that I think those 2 things, those 2 events that just happened, allowed me to finish this out. Now I might have still gotten lucky. Well, pause for dramatic effect. Slow motion Yoda kills. Now, I mean, if Lumi would have died, I still might have been able to survive that, you know, that last little bit. But who knows? Maybe I wouldn't have. You know, I've seen a lot of close calls with guildmates that just, you know, didn't end up finishing. So those are pretty much the strategies. If you guys want some more, I go over all these details in more in depth on the text guide on my website. So if you want to go check those out, gamingupgrade.com, and I'll put a link in the description. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and peace. I'm out of here.